born in Tennessee where freedom is alive. Straight from the woods, I'm 45. She's my ammo and it cries.
Had one round left. Yes, Hickok 45, your internet shooting companion, coming to you from the beautiful hills of Tennessee, the home of Jeff Quinn. Tennessee, great place. Yes. Well, I started to say, I'm sorry y'all can't be here, live here. I don't think there's room for all of you, right? There is a limit. Some people don't seem to think so, but there is a limit. So good to have you here on another Sunday shoot around, Sunday morning, and you are watching this on 8/21/22. I got the dates right for a change, right? So I don't know what I do. People have pointed out. I think the last 2 weeks maybe, as I'm making up the target, I don't know, mixing up the dates or something. I don't know what's with that, but anyway, I'm not really suffering yet from dementia. Who knows? Maybe could come creeping up on me at some point. But anyway, it is Sunday, and it's hard to believe we're creeping towards the end of August already, towards the end of summer. I cannot believe it. Can y'all believe that? It is, I don't know, summer has just flown by for some reason. Time always flies the older you get. Y'all know that. When you're really young, you just are always wanting to get to the next year, next grade level, or whatever it is, and so time goes slow. But then, later on, you get into your 20s and everything, it kind of speeds up for you because, you're not desperate for the next holiday or anything as much, and time gets away from you. But anyway, it's all relative, I guess. So, yeah, what am I shooting? Okay, you saw from the description, the new, just got the new P365 SIG XMACRO COMP. Okay, it's called a long name, but the XMACRO, as well as showing you the compensated part of it up there. Okay, in the slide at least, not the barrel. Well, the barrel's not really ported, but the slide is. Okay, so it has the same barrel length and barrel as the P365, the original, and yeah, and it has a slide length of the XL. Okay, and the grip module is what's different too. It's longer, yeah, redesigned, a little more beaver tail, and it has more length to it. It even has replaceable back straps, and has a 17 round magazine. Okay, so that's a big difference. And these mags work in, I've got an XL here. They work in the XL, okay, and they function and everything, and they work in the regular P365. Okay, now they're going to stick out, they're going to extend. They probably still work. I've been shooting, actually I did try it yesterday, I guess it worked as far as firing. I have been shooting longer magazines, Glock magazines, and shorter Glocks for 30 years, 35 years, and they tend to work 100% pretty much, Sometimes, in some Glocks, and in any gun, a longer Beretta mag and a regular 92, whatever it might be, if you got that magazine maybe canted forward or rearward or some kind of weird in a bind, you might have trouble with it. Generally speaking, they go ahead and crank, although most companies now are putting out a sleeve for the longer mags. So, yeah, the new comp, it's another SIG day, okay? Becoming a SIG rep, because I purchased, did I tell you? I don't know, I lost track of the weeks now. I bought the X10, okay? And I don't think I've had it out yet. So it's the one I was really planning to bring it out and shoot some more. Big old SIG, right? X10. And I've been firing it. But then I got this this comp this week. Bud's had one or several, and I got one, and thought, well, we'll shoot that some and try that. And John's going out of town, so I want to shoot it enough to do a video before he leaves town, maybe. And so we'll have the option of putting it up whenever we want. But so he's going on a comedy tour, and will be gone for a few weeks. So we can get some things done that I want to get done before he leaves, and that'd be one of them. And so I've been shooting it a fair amount, trying to get familiar with it. Brought her here today to shoot and shoot some more, and you know, go from there. And before I go too far, let me look up his and remind you where he's going to be this month on his comedy tour. He's got a kind of a long schedule. You can check his Facebook and Instagram, but he is going to be in again. He updated me, yeah. Yeah, in Huntsville, Stand Up Live on August the 25th at 7 o'clock. Okay. And in Fort Worth at Hyenas on the 26th, 8:30 and 10:30. Okay, August 26th. And Huntsville again, Stand Up Live, August 25th at 7. Did I ever say it? It's not. And August 26th at Hyenas, 8:30 and 10:30. It's a double. He just sent the website with it. So that's the big August dates coming right up. So about that. And of course, the others I mentioned, I'll mention those next week. Some coming up later. But so check him out, catch him if you can. And let me put another mag in this thing. I just loaded. Let's try the other mag, make sure it works. Okay, these are 17 round mags, and you still have the same thinness of the firearm. It's a P365. It's another variation of it. Okay, it's loud with that comp. Get my ears in tight. It's loud. Where's that hog? I haven't had any malfunctions with it yet. Got to get your ears in tight. You know, whenever you have a comp like that, you just get more noise, more blast, more noise, which is one of my criticisms of the gun. I don't really care for. If you saw my post on Instagram, the real Hickok 45. Okay. Yeah, I don't really have a use for porting on a defensive pistol at all, and basically won't really own one, probably, you know, unless there's something else about it I just like so much or something. But if this were mine, I would, and I just had to have the capability of having 21 rounds in it, and especially it would be a belt holster. This would not. This takes it out of the pocket realm. That's the thing. You know, the XL, to me, that's a pocket gun, and a great one. And in fact, I've got another one in my pocket, you know, with the Wilson Combat grip on it. So I like the pocket capability of these guns, the regular P365 and the XL, to have 12+1 and all, you know, it's nice, longer sight radius. The problem with this one is this becomes a belt gun, yeah, of some sort. Appendix carry or something on the belt. It's not a pocket gun, and you still got the short barrel at 3.1 inch or something. You know, the a regular P365 barrel, and with that blast coming upward, and you got a bigger grip to conceal somewhere. So you got all that. Now it might be just what the doctor ordered. You know, you might be looking for something like this. But I was about to say, I think if I just had to have that 17 round. This moves it on up into Glock 19 category or Glock 17, right? You got higher capacity and a non-pocket gun, basically. And big pocket maybe, but you know, basically a non-pocket gun. So What do you gain from this over a Glock 19 or Glock 17? A lighter, thinner gun that still feels good and shoots well. You know, so if that's important to you, if you can shoot this as well, literally as well. You might think you can, but if you really have tested and shot and you realize, wow, I can shoot this as well or better than Glock 17 or a gun in that size, like a regular M17 SIG, whatever you want to compare it with, you know, 320 or something, then, you know, you got a size advantage, right? So if that were my preference, because of the size and the thinness of it, still having 17+1 rounds, I could put the XL slide on it to get rid of that stupid comp, as far as I'm concerned, and get my sight radius back out there, and you know, it might be my gun of choice. Got a nice flat trigger and everything, and I like the SIG P365 format, so I could put that in a belt holster or inside the waistband maybe, and be a thinner, handier firearm. So anyway, I'll ramble about it. We'll do a video on it. I'll shoot it some more and solidify my thinking, what I think about it. That was funny. I wasn't even aware of it, that it was a thing for, I don't know, a week ago, several days ago. You know how these introductions always go. There's a bunch of videos that drop on the same day or posted about, you know, launching the thing. I was like, oh, wow, what's that? You know, and so, you know, you find out what the gun is. And so glad to get one from. I could tell from what I saw in the videos, even though they're basically infomercials, it's a nice gun, but probably nothing I would purchase. Okay, and but I like the SIG P365, so you know I can't knock it too hard. But it's got negatives. You know, I don't like the porting, the extra noise, the blast coming upward, you know, in my face. You know. Possibly, and just, you know, some of that, but it has its advantages too, and it's in a great line of pistols. These SIG P365s, man, they have really taken over the world for good reason, because a lot of people who really know firearms carry them, you know, not just because they're the latest, greatest thing. The same reason I did not go or become fond of Glocks. It wasn't because it was the latest, greatest thing in the late 80s. They were pretty great, you know, incredibly reliable and everything, all the advantages you get with those. But now there's so much more competition and so many great guns. So this is kind of the same way. Great guns. So anyway, yeah, 17 rounds. Again, the mags are backwards compatible. They'll go in any of the other SIGs. But I got bad news for you. The XL magazine will not work in this gun. Why not, you might ask? It's the same thickness, isn't it? The same bullets. What's the problem? Well, it's designed for a 17 round magazine. And guess what? Yeah, it's not long enough. Okay, just like the Glock. Most of you understand that quite well, don't you? So yeah, another offering. Cool, and it's all compatible. You can take the housing out. What am I trying to say? The firing mechanism, the unit. You know, it's the same thing. Put it in any of the other guns. You can take the slide off this one and put it on the other guns. You can put the slide from the XL on this. You know, you can do all that. Now you cannot put the short P365 on this, because you see the polymer frame goes all the way out to the end there, so I don't think you can do that. But you could put the XL on. I've done it. You know, the XL. It is an XL slide, just it's carved out a little bit. All right, so that's that. Pretty cool. Got that from Bud's. You know, just a day or two ago. So I've been shooting it, and it's great. And of course, Talon grips and ballistol. I got Talon grips on a couple of these SIGs, well, and plus the one in my pocket. I got 3 sets of Talon grips out here, and I got ballistol on all these guns. So the X10, yeah. So I got 2 new SIGs out here, basically, that are fairly new, and I did buy the X10. Okay, I just got tired of trying to find one, and I'm kind of a 10mm fan. And that's why I got the M&P. And I thought, yeah, one more wouldn't hurt. I like these big SIGs. I like my M17, and wouldn't hurt to have one of these. Let's shoot it. You want to? 10 mil a meter. All right. How about you, Mr. Gong? All right, and a cloud of dust. It must be going low. Yeah. I don't know where that one went. Feels pretty good. I mean, I like it fine because I like these big SIGs. It is very barrel heavy. It's very front slide heavy. Okay, if that bothers you, you might not like it. But it is a 10 millimeter. It's not like this firearm is going to be a carry gun for somebody, right? These guns, they're going to in a holster somehow carried and pulled out, boom, boom, you know, and it's that's the intent. This, not so much a firearm that you're going to go compete in USPSA matches and that kind of thing, and you know how quick the gun is to handle, get on target. It's not as critical, maybe. Less big Grizz is after you, right? But I mean, it's plenty fast, you know. But it does it. You know, if you know firearms, it's one of the most front slide heavy. You know, it's just very distinctive. Even when I put, where's my other mag? There it is. Even with a loaded mag in the grip, it's just heavy. You know, it really is. You feel like there's a lead weight out there. All right, now, what's good about that though? Well, the fact that you want some weight out there is 10 millimeter. Let's shoot some more of that. I don't like missing that gong like that. Yeah, okay. I think I got it in the last shot. I think I just set a record for missing the gong. So I need to work with that some. I don't know what the deal is there. As I was trying lower, higher, and everything. So, but I haven't shot it much. I'll have to figure that out. I'll shoot some warmer stuff here on the next go round. Maybe that'll help me. Okay. So anyway, what's been going on with you all? I hope that life has been treating you fairly well, right? Or really well, actually. That would be a better deal, wouldn't it? Shoot some trophy bonded through this thing. See if I can miss as often with it. So, oh yeah, so here we are. Hope you saw the videos this week. The watermelon massacre with the anaconda, which you all have seen. You all had seen it before that. If you watched the Sunday videos, you knew I had the anaconda, didn't you? And so it wasn't a big surprise when I brought it out to take out some watermelons, just for a little fun. And I saw those watermelons, those big long ones, you know, which you don't see very often. And, oh man, can't pass those up. We need to do something with those. So I picked up 5 of them, and so that was fun. Messy, but fun. And then the Armed in 1975. Many of you could relate to that. It's interesting to see the comments on that video. I always enjoy comments, skimming through them on videos like that, or the last gun I'd ever sell, those videos. Well, lots of different videos specific, and hear the history and your all's experience with those same firearms or that time period, and everything. Really, it's very interesting to see. Some people weren't even born yet, you know, or whatever the situation might be, or what guns you had at that time, your favorite guns, or what guns you would be the last to sell. So pretty interesting. Just that walk back in time to so long ago. 75 doesn't seem that long ago to me. And but it is a long time. I saw so many people there. Yeah, well, I was born in 1990 or 2000 or 89 and 85. Like 1975 is like really the old days for a lot of people. Forget. And I was an adult. So it's interesting, and maybe it's a lesson to some of you young people. You'll probably, if you don't walk out in front of traffic, you keep bad things out of your body, unhealthy things, and you watch where you hang out. There's a good chance you'll live a long time, maybe far longer than I have or will, because just a different time. If you eat right and everything, you might live a long, long time, and you have a lot of life ahead of you. A lot of life ahead of you. Some of you think, wow, gosh, Hickok was buying those guns in 1975, shooting them, shooting guns just like this. I'm sure that crosses your mind sometimes if you're 20 years old, 15 or 30 even, because it seems like such a long time ago to you. And I was up running around shooting in those guns, trading those guns, buying those guns, and, long before many of you were born. And a lot of you all fall under that same category where you were buying and shooting guns back in the 60s and 70s, and so life can be long, and you could still be healthy. You could still be around, just like me, harassing people, picking on people and doing your thing, whatever it is you like to do. Be working. I could be doing about anything I've ever done, as I've said before, except playing college basketball. I don't think I'd go back and do that. Not very well, probably. But I could be teaching, right now. I really didn't plan to retire from teaching until, I don't know, much later than I did. I've been gone for 10 years, but that was because of this project. I could have been teaching right now, just going in and teaching. So I thought of that this morning, driving by the school and all the traffic. I went out, checked the mail and everything, and school was, I got into school traffic at a local high school and middle school here. And it just crossed my mind, wow, it's been 10 years almost since I've done that. It'd be neat to, it even crossed my mind, I wonder if I could sub a little bit. I don't know what a nightmare that is, being a substitute teacher. How much would I have the patience to do that with kids I don't even know? And things have changed so much. Well, maybe, but probably not. Like one day a week. I'd just do it for free, a day a week or something. But just be kind of interesting to get back into a classroom. It would be interesting. Let's put it that way. It could be that if I did that for a couple of days, I would say, "Whoa, yeah, I was smart for getting out when I did, wasn't I?" Or I would just enjoy it. I don't know. But anyway, it has been a long time, and but my point there was I could be teaching today still healthy, and maybe the next 10 years if they'd have me. So something to think about. Some more advice for you young people. Plan ahead. The financial stuff I've talked about and everything. Your health. Plan ahead. Plan to be around 50 years from now, 80 years from now, because you might very well be. So what's your life going to be like in 20 years or 30 or 40? Well, what you're doing now will determine that to a large extent in terms of how you're going to be living. If you're going to be barely getting by or whatever, or you're going to be healthy, have diabetes, type 2 diabetes, that kind of thing. So I was about to shoot this gun before I got off on that tangent, wasn't I? All right. Okay, I got some trophy bonded. Let me settle down here. See if I can figure out these sights. Okay, I'm going to bring it down a little bit. I think I hit it. I hear a little sound there. I don't know. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of that phenomenon I have explained to you all about. I noticed some dust hitting, then I thought I hit it, or I bounced into it, and all that kind of deals. Where you, if you sometimes if you, that may not be what's happening, but sometimes you can hit the gong, and then the splatter of the lead will hit the dirt, so you're getting the dust, and then you hear the gong. So it sounds like, looks like you're hitting the ground and bouncing into it because you're seeing the dust before you hear the gong hit. You know. When in reality, it takes a while for the sound to get back, and so you have to figure out what's going on there. You have to remember the physics of that. So anyway, a bunch of new SIG stuff, and I'll tell you, I also brought this over here. I got a bunch of stuff over here. This is my M&P 10 millimeter, so I'm not going to shoot any one of them too much, but I wanted to try. So I need to try it. As you can tell, I can't seem to hit with them. It's funny because I was not able to hit very well at any kind of range with this new 365 macro. Okay, I won't call it the comp. It's a macro comp. I was not able to hit with it over on the other range. So I'm shooting with it. I said, wow, what is wrong with me? What's wrong with it? But today I was able to seem like shoot it better. I'll shoot some more. So anyway, I had all that stuff I wanted to try out some more, and so this is my M&P 10 millimeter. Why do I have it out there? Maybe some of you can tell by looking at it. Notice anything? Anything different from your M&P 10 millimeter and most of them you see? Yeah, the sights are not sitting a half a mile high on the slide. I replaced them. Okay, well, I had to get a gunsmith to help me. In fact, I think I made a posting about that, Instagram something. I could not get the front sight off. I just couldn't. I was banging hard, and I know my limitations. I don't want to destroy the firearm. And even the gunsmith said he had a little hard time. They were really, really tight. And hopefully these are tight too, because they need to be tight. It's a 10 millimeter, right? So we're to see who makes these. I Googled around, I found them, some sites for it. There weren't a lot of choices. Dawson Precision, I believe, is the name. And I ordered them. Thought I could put them on myself, but I couldn't get the old ones off. So I had to go to the gunsmith and sneeze and then shoot. So I like the sight picture. I've not fired them yet. And but I really like the, I don't know if you can see the sight picture there at all, but they're, the fiber optic, and they're fairly, it's hard to do that, they're fairly fine, so that's why I like them. So I'll take a couple of shots and see, because it's cool and everything, I guess, to have high sights in case you want to co-witness, with an optic. That's the main reason, I guess, and then or put a suppressor on. Yeah. Well, that's all well and good, but I don't really like optics on a handgun. Okay, I don't put those on. Those RMRs and stuff. Don't really care for them. I do put a suppressor on occasionally, but I don't know about on a 10 millimeter if that's going to be a regular thing I'd want to do. So I'm more likely to use that on a 45. You can get subsonic ammo, and it just works better on a slower bullet, of course. And so with no intention of putting an RMR on here, I don't need those high sights. All it was doing, it took me a while to realize that I think maybe it was in a Sunday video I was shooting. I was realizing I was always going low. And yeah, that's what happens. If your sights are this high and you line them up on a target, you're going to be shooting low. And you can't adjust them. They're not adjustable for elevation, so you're sort of stuck with that. Yeah. Shooting at something very far away, you're going to shoot low, and to me that's worse than shooting high, much worse. If there's nothing you can do about it, as far as adjusting the sights. So anyway, now I don't know. Hopefully these will be on. We'll find out. Be on better. It should be better. I don't know how much better. Let's see if I can tell anything here. Let's try some on the Cowboy. All right. what I'm hitting. Oh, okay. Let's try something I can see better. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. That looks like right on at close distance. Try that plate down there. Try the gong. I think that one got him. It's hard to tell today for some reason. I got my ears in so tight from that compensated pistol. The thing is loud, really loud. Let me try some trophy bonded here. I think I got some more of that. Yeah. So I'll load a mag of this and shoot that a little more. I think especially at reasonable distances, I like it better. I love the sight picture. I love those fine sights as opposed to coarse. Okay, you know what I mean by that. What else was I going to yak about? Anything important? Probably not. Probably not. Went down to Davy Crockett Days in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, this past weekend. Had a couple of weekend trips, or a couple of trips. Went up to Patty's Restaurant up in Land Between the Lakes area a couple weeks ago. Kind of neat. And then down to Lawrenceburg for the Davy Crockett Days, which really is dwindling. I don't know if I'll go back to that thing again. There's just hardly anybody set up there anymore. It used to be a bigger event. But it is interesting to go down to Lawrenceburg. I hate to say this, it's such an insult, isn't it? Well, maybe it's not these days, to tell somebody their town is not on the way to anywhere, right? So you don't go there very often. But it's true. There's a lot of truth to that. And you know, I think we're learning maybe that's where we want to be. Some places not on the way to anywhere, not a bedroom community as much. But Lawrenceburg is kind of that way down in southern Tennessee, middle Tennessee. And it's not like we're off the interstate or anything, and it's pretty far down there. So there are people who work, I'm sure, in Nashville and up in Franklin or wherever, but it'd be a pretty long drive. But it's just neat, a little kind of a rural, community. A lot of Amish live in that area, a lot of antique shops and that kind of thing, and it's just an interesting place. And Davy Crockett was born down or lived down that way. Had a powder mill and everything. Davy Crockett's not a piece of fiction for those who think he was. It's something made up by some writer somewhere. He was a real dude. And lived here in Tennessee for a long time. All right, now we got some, see if the sights stay on. Some trophy bonded. Let's take out the cowboy. It's pretty hard. Well, I can't see that thing. There we go. Well, I see it moving. I think I'm just having a hard time hearing the hits today with what with my ears stuck in so tight. Let's try a bowling pin here. Boom. Yeah, those things have some horsepower, no doubt about it. Yeah, man, that is horsepower. Yeah, I love the look on those sights. Really nice sight picture, Dawson precision, okay? And again, I was not even familiar with them. I just bought them online. So I like my M&P more now. I need to shoot it some more, obviously. Shooting too many different types of guns, I guess, here today, not shooting them well. So yeah, anyway, the X10, you may not be familiar with it. Big old SIG P320 and 10 millimeter chambering. Feels pretty good. Has a nice grip. It's not gigantic or anything at all. And a very nice fit to it. It would fit most of your hands just fine. X10. It's a 5-inch gun, barrel slide, and that's part of the reason. And plus, it's thicker than the regular 320. It's a little thicker. Okay, the slide is, and I guess maybe the barrel, but the slide is, and so just a little thicker, not much, and then what, ½ inch longer or something, and so it's a little bit longer, and that gives you more barrel weight out there. Okay, so some of you might find that offensive if you're easily offended by a handgun. That it might be. You might just not like the balance of it, because if it were anything but a 10, I would definitely not like it. Okay. I wouldn't want my 1911s, my 5-inch 1911s, or even any of my 9 millimeters. I wouldn't want any of my carry guns to have this kind of a barrel heavy feel on it. It just would bother me. I wouldn't need that. But it's just definitely heavy out there. Okay. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. So what else? Let me get to the advice. Do I have any advice for young people? I think I've already given you some advice. Well, yeah, like I say, preparing, I kind of following up last week, preparing for the future, because you don't know what the future is going to bring. You don't know what you'll be doing. I think I talked about how crazy, my world has been over the years, and so many things you can't plan for. I heard some financial advisor talking about that. You don't know what the world's going to be like in 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. Nobody could have known. How could I have ever known I would be doing this? In the 70s, speaking of the 70s, or the 80s, pre-internet. Who knew that so many people would be setting up a camera and maybe making a career out of it? There are people who got started, when they're 20 years old or whatever, doing this sort of thing, and it is their job. They've never done anything else. They make videos of some sort. So their life is making videos, content creator for various formats. That's what they do on their own, totally, or at least for the most part, independent, Whereas, I had several careers, and it's just something I started doing willy-nilly for fun, and ended up that way, but, just started out for fun. So you don't know what you're going to be doing. You don't know what technology is going to be there. So there's no way of knowing what you'll be doing, which makes it a little difficult. I heard a discussion recently about people who, I don't know, psychologists or somebody, that people tend to be more, I don't know, successful or happier. I don't know what the adjective was or is. Do better, whatever. Make more money. I don't know what it was. When they start out in a general sense with a career kind of thing, and then gradually learn what they want to do and become more specialized later on, or happier, maybe that was part of it, I don't know. And that made some sense, because if you get really highly specialized, right out of college, you want to, I don't know, be a tire specialist or a bone marrow specialist or a foot surgeon or whatever it might be. And that's what your training is for, and you get right into that. And you don't really know, we don't know what the world, the career is even like necessarily that we choose to go into when we're 18 or 15 or 20, We get into it and we're like, this is kind of tedious. I have other ideas. I'd like to do something else that would make a difference, or I have more free time, or whatever, make more money, or whatever it might be. And so then you've specialized in something, and maybe you've done a lot of training to do that, and you don't really like it. That's too bad. So not that that's a wrong thing to do, but lots of times a generalist was their point, ends up having a I don't know, happier life or more successful life, because they see a bigger picture for a while and then narrow it down later into exactly what they want to do, and the career that is attractive to them. So just say, but you don't know. How could you know? You don't know what's going to be going on in your field of choice. Your field of choice may not be the field you stick with or have interest in later, of course. You'll probably have lots of different careers like I have. That's just the way it is. So, you just need to be flexible and strive for excellence and do well whatever it is you do. And, things will probably work out as long as you maintain your sense of drive and creativity and just whatever. But anyway, I don't know if that's of any use to anybody, but it was a great use to me, right? For example, I've told the story about how, let me shoot this macro thing again, how my mother wanted me to take typing in high school. She was just dead set on that, and I used to joke about she wanted me to be a good little secretary, or something. Nothing wrong with that. But it was not my career ambition. But so I took typing, I guess 1 and 2. Yeah, I don't know, was that all in 1 year, 1 semester, 2 semesters of it? I don't know, but I took typing. And it was funny. I kind of enjoyed it. I don't know, I just sort of took to it. It was neat. It was just so hands-on, mechanical, here it is, you either learn it or you don't. And so I took that as a kind of a challenge. And there were also some hot gals in that class with me. I remember being motivated by that. But I kind of enjoyed it, and it was a nice break from the other courses, classes. And I got pretty good at it. I didn't cooperate with the instructor. I never did learn to do the keyboard, the numbers on the keyboard without looking. Now I can read numbers, I can hit the numbers, but I didn't incorporate the numbers row, which for those of you who don't know, that's the top row, typewriter, computer. And I think that was part of the reason for my success, because you got to type in a number, it's not a big deal to look at it, And so I kind of surpassed a lot of the people in the class just because of that. I didn't try to incorporate that as I was learning. I realized, man, this is really going to slow me down. I got to look. This is my hands. They're only capable of learning 3 rows or something. But I learned them well. I got to where I could type 100 words a minute. Still can. From home base, just typing. So anyway, I kind of took to it, and because of that, when I got into college, I guess I typed some papers my senior year in high school, but when I got into college, it was I could type, I had a typewriter, and I could type paper. Other people were having to pay to have somebody to do their typing, and all that kind of things out of their hands. They couldn't edit, but I could edit at the typewriter. I don't like that, but another piece of paper, and it wasn't, so I had more control over it. Even though you had to use the correction stuff and all that, it wasn't exactly like a computer. And so it helped me there. And then, of course, it led me into computers, as I've talked about, because I'll never forget going into a Radio Shack, Franklin, Tennessee, in about whenever, 79, 80, and I guess it was a TRS Trash 80, as they call them, sitting there hooked up to a printer, and I asked, I said, so whatever I type on this keyboard, I was typing, I can print it out over there and I can modify it, and it'll print. Oh yeah, he did it, That is cool, because I go from manual typewriter to this. And so that was it. I was hooked, and I started shopping pretty soon there, and ended up with an Apple II printer and everything, the floppy disk drives that you needed, and got into that, and went into publishing sales, and I was managing my territory with my computer in 81, 82, before most people could use one. And it wasn't because I was a genius. That's far from the reality, right? It was just not that hard, as you know. Now we all know. At that time, it was funny though. If you knew how to turn on a computer and do anything on it, you were considered a genius. You're like Bill Gates, you're a programmer. If you could just turn it on and use it. So it was great. It was so easy to impress people. Not that that was why I was doing it. I saw the utility in it, and as a tool. And I like to write and type, and so anyway, that's how I got into it. And then that led me into a different division in the publishing world, because I was one of those few people who understood computers, and the medical nursing education world was just getting some of them and trying to learn to use them, for computer assisted instruction and different things. And so we were like the gurus, this publishing company I was with, and I was just like one of 3 or 4 people that could do that and help them. And I flew all over the country helping people like that. And it was like, it was funny, because it was like we were really geniuses, and we weren't. I mean, your 6-year-old can do anything I could do at that time. Probably a lot more. And so anyway, it led me into that, and then in education, I got back into education, and 1990, and the kids are the same thing. It was just getting into it in education, in high school, middle school, and beyond the lab, and so I started writing proposals and getting laptops there and everything. And again, I was not the smartest guy around without computers, but ended up being kind of the guru for a while there, along with a couple other people, and it just really served me well. I did the training, the computer enrichment, and a lot of the training for other faculty on the computer, basic stuff, how to use grading programs and everything else. The things that later on, they didn't need any of that. They didn't need me to do that, after, I don't know, 2005 or so, whatever it was. And it all folded in where everybody's using laptops and computers, and everybody knows how to do all the basic stuff and everything. And so it just evolved. But anyway, that little typing class, okay, that when I was a junior in high school, it just opened up that whole big world for me. And again, because of that, and not having fear of technology, the computers, and I was early into digital cameras, and really early, the ones that use the floppy disks, 3.5-inch floppy. I've got a lot of pictures of my parents' house and everything that were taken with one of those, and then the one I had in my pocket, I'd carry one of the little ELF Canon cameras around in my pocket around here, and you could do some really poor resolution, even videos with them, MPEGs, early on, like in, I don't know, 2000, 2005, whenever that was. And that very first thing I did with it's posted, the first video, shooting a buffalo with 5 rounds, black powder. All I do is walk up and shoot it. Well, it's because I had that in my pocket, and I said, well, let me see if I can turn this on and catch this, and then that was done on one of those things, And so again, the evolution of that leads right into where I am today, doing this stupid stuff. And of course, I'm not considered high tech, but that not having the fear of the technology or cameras or the digital stuff, though so many people have passed me by now because I don't really keep up with it from a nerdy standpoint, just as a tool, so my main interest in it. But anyway, you don't know what's going to happen. A simple little typing class changed my career. I mean, really, in so many different ways. Maybe all of it would have happened anyway, but we just can't know what the future brings. Just like when I shoot this gun. I don't know if I'm going to hit anything. Probably not. Let's shoot fast. With a compensated slide like that, you're supposed to be able to shoot faster. Less muzzle rise. Well, I don't know. When we do a video, I'll shoot this side by side, the regular. So what I guess the smart thing to do I really want to do the smart thing? Would be put the XL slide on this. I need to have the same grip, okay, to compare apples to apples. Just to shoot fast, same ammo, of course, and shoot fast, trying to hold on target. The same grip, whether it's this one or the XL grip, but put this slide on it or the other slide on this gun and test what I sense in terms of how much the compensated, slide helps with muzzle flip and all that kind of stuff. Okay. From a defensive standpoint, again, I know I sound pessimistic, negative about some things. This is one of them. I just don't want, for one thing, the trainers will tell you, I don't, go into a lot of that, but, one of the first things you do, I think, in those training classes, self-defense, and even in some of the police qualifications I went through when I was a volunteer back in the 90s, you get really close on the target and you're shooting the firearm kind of against you, taking a couple of shots, where the bad guy is up on you, that kind of thing, and you're taking a couple of shots, keeping your body away from that gun and the muzzle. Well, got that thing shooting up into your face with the blast, and not unnecessarily something that's going to happen, but it's just unnecessary is the thing. It's a defensive gun, and whether or not, like, I don't know, put a target out there at 15 yards, okay, I could shoot, say, 10 times, and as quickly as I can regain my sight picture, and I can do it with both slides, and I just don't expect there to be much difference. A smidgen, okay, in terms of the speed of follow-up, accuracy, the hits and all that. From a defensive standpoint, it's just not going to make a difference, I don't think. All right. Now, in a USPSA match, maybe a little bit. Maybe it would enable me to double tap more quickly, move on to the next cardboard target. I don't know. So anyway, again, I don't mean to be negative. I just mean to be negative. Let me try the gong. I'm getting mad at the gong. I don't know, maybe when if I listen to the video, a lot of times I don't, but I'll be able to tell if I'm hitting it more than I think I am. Oh man. Yeah, there's a big negative right there. That thing hurts my ears. Okay. Where's that hog? There he is. Cowboy. A fine shooter. Whatever negatives there are, they're just good shooters. They really are, these little guns. They had a little problem when they came out, the 365s, but apparently they've gotten that tweaked and fixed. And these things, I don't know what awards they've won. They may have sold more firearms than any other firearm in the last 3 years, I don't know. But they do deserve some sort of award, recognition, like Gun of the Year. Probably has been Gun of the Year for some magazine or something, but it's hard to know about that stuff. The Gun of the Year with a particular magazine could be the same company that bought more ads that year. You just never know. But all that aside, being objective, these suckers, it's great. Well, you followed me. If you have followed me for a while, I have the reputation of being a Glock lover, and I still like them. But I have discovered a lot of really fine fire. It's not like I was dumb and I just discovered them. They weren't necessarily out there 15, 20 years ago. SIG has really come on strong with so many models. I carry a P365 a lot of times, the XL usually, at least the XL frame. If I'm not carrying, I carry a revolver sometimes. Then again, I might carry the Glock 43X. So I'm not locked into anybody, any particular gun. I just always have wanted the best one for the job, whatever that might be. And in terms of, and reliability is paramount, absolutely paramount. Reliability. So I'm taking a long time here. But that's okay. You guys didn't have anywhere to go, right? Was there anything you were dying to know about? I forgot to tell you. I gave you John's schedule, kind of, and if you get by and see him, watch out. This is advice to everybody. Watch out for the Orwellian language that is so common today. I keep getting reminded about that. The bizarre things. You know, the anti-gunners. I'll shoot a little more tin. The anti-gunners have always been good at this. You know, whether it's Saturday night specials, they come up with these phrases: assault weapons, assault rifle. These terms to demonize, you know, particular groups of firearms and that sort of thing. And you know, like the crime bill, you know, the Clinton crime bill, for example, that was supposed to help with crime. It was really a gun banning bill, and it was a crime bill that did nothing to help with crime. So that's half. I just heard it today, in fact, some politicians saying they're looking at some legislation, I think, to prevent a bill from being named, to have some control over what either party names a particular bill, because it's so misleading. I guess, yeah, because so many people are so dumb, they don't follow things. But you know how it is. It's like if someone, if some bill that, it doesn't matter what it is, if they can call it the Senior Citizens Protection Act or something, and it has very little to do with senior citizens, and it doesn't even protect senior citizens or whatever it does. It just is another way to tax everybody, but they call it something like that because there's some little aspect of it that pertains to that. You know, just like whether it's the example, you know, like the Affordable Care Act. You know, just putting words on things. The Inflation Reduction Act. You know, the gun safety bill. You know, that's one of the big ones. Gun safety bill. Oh yeah, the anti-gunners are all about gun safety. Yeah, aren't they? They wouldn't know gun safety if it hit them in the face. Whenever you hear anybody who you know probably doesn't like firearms freedom, if they mention gun safety, just go ahead and plug your ears or start laughing, because they don't mean gun safety. They mean gun control is what they mean. Gun confiscation. That's their idea of safety, right? Our idea of safety is the Constitution, right? All right, 10 millimeter, the SIG X10. Just to continue my my SIG commercial here. All right, I need to redeem myself and hit the gong. I think I figured it out. It's not because I'm just totally dumb and or incompetent. Unless I'm wrong, let me try again. Yeah, I was holding too low. All right, that surprises me. No, well, I shouldn't. I haven't shot enough to know any better. Okay, I feel better now. I know a lot of those were missing, and that didn't miss. I hit the paper. Pretty good, huh? Cowboy, I'm gonna pop you. All right, let me try a red plate. Let me try the turkey. Maybe I can hit it now. I can't see it very well, but I know we're kind of where it is. Yeah. Hold on his head. Popped it. I tell you, I'm a slow learner, but I eventually get there. So that thing hasn't malfunctioned yet. I like to fire weak-handed occasionally. I hadn't done much of that. Just if it's gonna, you know, if you're gonna limp-wristed or so on the verge of getting limp-wristed or malfunctioning, that will reveal it quite often. You're more likely to limp wrist with your weak hand. Let me put it that way. Yeah, there's SIG commercial, huh? Again, we're so fortunate. Well, we wouldn't be doing it anyway, but that we don't have to do SIG commercials or Glock commercials. It may sound like a commercial sometimes if I really like something. And I'm very fond of SIG and what they've been doing. I've always been fond of SIG. I can't think of any real dogs. Can you, that they have out? They probably do. I haven't shot that 22 much, the 322, since was that last Sunday? Seems like it's been 2 weeks. But I need to shoot that more. I saw some comments about a lot of people having a leading problem with that firearm. I don't know if it's the ammo they're using or what it is, but so I do want to shoot that, and I'll see if I seem to have that problem. But yeah, most of the time, SIG, they have a reputation for being expensive. The 226, 229, all those old SIGs, the double single action, those have always been very well respected. My gosh, the Navy SEAL pistol for a long time, just extremely reliable, great guns. And some people were not happy when they went to the firearms like this with a striker fired. I was pleased, but and they're still a little more expensive than some other brands, even with the striker fired models, polymer. But they tend to be good guns, So I mean, I don't mind bragging on a firearm if it's good. You might not like SIG for some reason. Feel free to share. Like I say, these are just nobody cares what we're not tied to anybody. What I'm trying to say, as you know, I think I protest too much. I shouldn't say that so often. It sounds like I'm, whenever you keep reiterating something like that, it's like you have something to hide. But I just like to remind people, because so many people are tied to the firearms companies in some way, and I don't know so many, but some are, and I just like to make sure you all realize we're not. But so anyway, yeah, cool guns. Wow, 3 SIGs on our table, one in my pocket. Isn't that terrible? I will in defensive, and I'll go over all this in the videos. I like this SIG just fine. It again, I think it's not going to be one, if I were going hiking into the mountains and wanted some extra or some bear protection, because I take a 10 usually when I do that, Glock 29 or 20. The M&P I can see myself packing maybe instead of the Glock 20, definitely instead of this, I think. I don't know that I gain as much. This is heavier and, I don't know. But it's cool. I like it. But this one is a lighter front. It's I guess a shorter. It's not a 5-inch. It's probably 4 or something. And it's just much better balanced gun. Feels much better. And I love those sights too now. And or the Glock even, I think, over this one. But feels good. Glad to have another nice 10mm from major company. And this gun, it's fine. Some of you will fall in love with it because it has that 17 round capability. Another thing I'm not sure I like is that Picatinny rail. That makes it thicker. I don't have, I understand for people who are always wanting the rail for flashlights or whatever they're going to put on it. I really do that. I understand not liking the proprietary rails because you have more choices with these, but you notice the difference. The one on your left is my regular XL SIG P365. It's just not as thick and wide. You don't have as much, it's just smoother. It's almost like not having a rail on it, which I kind of like, to tell you the truth. I mean, I can see myself, if it's a designated firearm, I would rather, I just don't like rails either. I'm happy like a 19 or a 1911. Almost forgot the year. I don't like rails on them. I really don't. Now, if I had decided though that a 1911 is going to be my primary home defense firearm or carry firearm, like all the time, and day and night and everything, well, maybe I want one with a rail, maybe a flashlight or whatever on that thing, white light, I don't know, or laser. Yeah, that becomes a different thing. But in general, the rails just messes up the lines of a pistol. Unless I have a need for it, I'm going to use it. Okay, it's like having an AR with all kinds of rails and contraptions on it. If you're not going to use it, you don't have a need for it to use it. It's a range gun. You can always add that stuff later, right? Can't do that on a handgun as well. So positives and negatives of all these, and I got into too deeply into it. I need to save that for the video on these guns, right? So that's good. Good shooting this some more, and get some more rounds through it. So when we do a video, I'll have more to draw on, more experience, right? But as I was going to say, of all these firearms, all these SIGs, and this M&P, I don't think I've had a malfunction, have I? Remember, y'all are with me when I shoot these things a lot of times, and I could forget, but I don't think I've had a malfunction with them. You know, and if I ever say that incorrectly, I'm wrong about it, it's not because I'm trying to hide it. I just, you know, didn't forget it. I shoot so much and so many different firearms, and I'll have a malfunction. Like I distinctly remember having, which we posted this week, the armed in 1975, the 1911, right off the bat, that thing malfunctioned, stovepipe, you know. So I remember a lot of those, and especially with a defensive gun, something I might carry, or it's a defensive pistol, people are going to be buying it as a carry gun. You know, I mean, whether it's reliable or not is a key factor. So that usually sticks in my mind to share with you all if it happened off camera. Wherever it happened, I'm going to remember that. It's just like my gun, in which, oh yeah, that's right. I did have a malfunction, a light primer strike. I think it was, well, these crazy SIGs, I don't know, it was, it was with this frame, put it that way, and I guess that, you know, action, because I actually, on this, this is an XL frame, this is the XL I bought, but I have the regular 3-inch barrel on it and slide, all right? But with the XL, I think when I was out shooting it in a video right here where I stand on the Gun Club range, I had a light primer strike, whenever that was, a year ago, on one time. As I say, and you all probably, some of you remember that, because some of you have asked me about it, if I've had any since then, and I've not. But I switch these things around, they're like Legos, so, you know, I don't know. But I've not had that happen, okay? I've got that slide, I guess, on my Wilson Combat, yeah, my Wilson Combat grip, all right? And, yeah, the trigger mechanism there is from a regular P365, because it's got the curved trigger, so I think that's a different trigger mechanism that had that. So it is like Legos, isn't it? But that's the nice thing about these guys. But anyway, they stick in my mind when I do a malfunction. But that's the nice thing about the P365. You know, you just you know, mix and match, create the gun you want. It's one reason I never bought the X, just the plain P365X, I think it's called, and it is an XL frame with the standard shorter slide and barrel, right? Well, I've got 2 or 3 of these, so I sort of made my own, you know, well, not with this one. This is a P365, but with this one, you know, I've got the XL frame, and I have the short slide. I think that's kind of what the X is, except it's got something special. It's not ported, is it? It's got something about the sights, or maybe a little different or something. But, yeah, so I've not been drawn to that one. Okay, enough for SIG Day, but it just, coincidentally, I wanted to shoot these because, again, before I see you again, we may not necessarily post it, but we may do a video on the X10 and the comp gun, macro, okay? So I wanted to shoot them some more, and I will shoot them yet some more. And I hope to see you next Sunday. And, wow, we'll be getting into, let's see, it's the 21st today, so what's that, the 28th next Sunday? We're really wrapping up the summer. Hope you're getting all the fun in that you wanted to get in, or you're able to. Hope things have opened up enough for you. Surely everything is open now. Wow, should have been open long ago. Although, wow, was it the Philly school system where they're going to start putting masks on pre-K kids and stuff? Whew. This is bizarre. And somewhere in, is it Minnesota? Minneapolis school system, somewhere. I think they're all masked up. I mean, just give me a break. Give me a break. Like, how many years has it been now? How long are you going to play this game? Yeah, how long are you going to play this game? Hospitals, doctors' offices. I mean, how long are you going to play this masquerade game? You know, wow, that's my question. Forever? I guess you are. Yeah, what are you gaining from it? What are you gaining? Yeah. Wow. As the next step, you're going to require anybody that comes to your doctor's office or your hospital, they have to wear double seat belts and they have to wear a crash helmet in their car to get there. You're more likely to get hurt driving there. I mean, it's just bizarre. I think most people are fed up with it, and hopefully, we can change things this fall, and hopefully just through political action, just through voting, legislation if it takes it, and get the world back. You know, there's just risk in walking around and living. You know, there just is. So I don't know. A lot of people expect a world where there is none, right? And I say that as somebody who, you know, if I catch something and am gone next week, so be it. I've had a great life right up to the end. That's the way I want it. That's the way I want it. I'm not going to go hide in a corner. The last 10 years of my life, the last 5 years, the last 50 years, whatever the years are, I am not going to hide in a corner. I'm going to breathe and move around, just like I've been doing for the last 3 years. Yeah. So I will take the risk, and most people feel the same way. You know, if not, hide at home. Hide at home. You know, I've ranted enough. I really appreciate your all support, and again, I hope you're checking all the videos 3 or 4 a week. And we may not be the smartest tools in the shed, or the brightest, the sharpest tools, that is, mixing my metaphors, the sharpest tools in the shed, but we're going to give you an honest opinion on everything, and we really do appreciate y'all coming around. Really, really do. Life is good.